spare bedroom closet down the basement. Of course, this room could end up being used as an office or maybe even a workout room. So we want to put some shelving in here that's going to be good looking and really versatile, because the way it's used could change over the years. What we did is start out with some 4x8 sheets of MDF, and we've ripped all these pieces to 11.5 inches wide. Then we drilled for adjustable shelf hole pins and put some pocket screw holes in there, and that's going to be to attach the face frame. That face frame is going to dress this shelving up a little bit, and it's also going to add a lot of strength. Now, today there are closet rod systems that will fit right in these shelf pin holes, so they would be able to add a closet rod anywhere they wanted to up and down the length of these pieces. It's really a versatile system. Now, what we're going to do in this closet is build two identical units. These units could have all shelves. They could have rods, could have double rods, single rods with shelves, just about anything they want. And then in the middle, we're going to build a lower section that's a little bit deeper and put some shelves up above that. Of course, if you want to, you could end up putting another rod up there. Just depends on how you want to use it. But we're going to start out by going ahead and building these two identical sections on either side. I'm adding some cleats to this back wall. That's what will attach my uprights to the wall. I'm not going to be able to nail down through my top shelf, but what I'll do is I'll use pocket screws to screw up into the top shelf from the bottom side. As you can see, I've got some holes right here on this upright. Now, unfortunately, you can also tell that I missed putting them on these other uprights. So what I'm going to need to do is use this jig, and I'll just put some screw through there to hold it in place, and I'll still be able to drill my pocket hole. Grab my drill real quick, and I'll put a pair. Here, and I'll put a pair out to the front. Well, that was kind of a self-inflicted wound, but there's also some times when you have to do that. There's no other choice. Next time, I'm hoping I'll remember and go ahead and drill them before I get them nailed to the wall. Now, look at this. I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's a decent chance that I'm going to have a hard time getting that shelf up there after I have these two uprights in place. So I'm going to go ahead and measure, cut for that top shelf, and I'll sit up there and I'll be able to screw it in most of the way. Then I'll just swing these legs around and screw those together, and I'll be well on my way to getting finished. Well, I'm really glad I went ahead and put that shelf in before I put these uprights in, because I'm pretty sure it had never gone in otherwise. Now I'm just going to go ahead and suck this shelf down tight using my pocket screw holes. Okay. All right, that has really got that locked in. So my next move is going to be to go ahead and build the face frames that go on these two components. And what I'll need to do is build one face frame for this side, one face frame for this side, and then I'll actually put my last face frame member in place after those other two are setting in there. Now, when I'm working like this, right, kind of on the job and in the room, in sight and in the room, I like to use my faceplate clamp so I can just slide it right under the work. All right, since I've got this one put together and we're kind of tight for space, I think I'm going to go ahead and put it up in place. I don't know if it's critical in a closet like this, but I'm going to go ahead and put at least a little bit of glue on the front of these MDF members. Now for this depth of shelf, I am going to have to use a shorter driver. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the second frame. All right, we're ready to put this one up. Now, one of the things that's different about these middle pieces are the holes go all the way through on the middle pieces. And the reason that we did that, once we build in our little section of shelves that are deeper, we'll still be able to either put rods or shelves on up through here. So we just drilled these holes all the way through instead of having to have a double thick piece there. We're using one piece to go both directions. All right, we've got these two face frame units in place. Now we're going to cut the very last piece that runs in between at the top. We'll screw it in place, and then we're going to start working our last middle deep shelf unit. Okay, I built this little box and a face frame. And I'm going to attach the face frame to the box, and then we'll slide it in between the two shelf units. And what this kind of does is almost like a mini dresser. It gives you a little bit of space that you can sit, things on, battery charger, things like that. So it just gives you a little extra space. Plus, I always like having some deep shelves in the closet because, there's some things like folded up jeans or sweaters that really don't do all that well on a 12-inch deep shelf. So I'm going to put a little glue on this unit and screw it together. All right, that's all screwed together. Now I'm going to slide it back in place, and I'll use a couple of my short 1.25" pocket screws just to hold it in place in between those two uprights. That is absolutely rock solid. Now I'm going to go cut some shelves for this lower unit. All right, there's our deep shelves in place. Now, anywhere else here, we could put a shelf really anywhere we want to, but we could also put a closet rod, and we would do that by using this clip that holds a rod here, and these pegs just fit into the holes. So you've got all kinds of versatility. Now, I can't imagine that anyone wouldn't think this is a dramatic upgrade over what you normally find in a closet. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this material, don't forget to like and subscribe.